Many people walk through life waiting for a lucky break. They believe the world owes them success, money, or happiness. But success is rarely a gift. It is almost always a mirror. It reflects the value you offer to others. Today, we will explore this idea through a powerful story. We will see how a simple change in perspective can completely rewrite a person's future. Along the way, you will practice your English listening skill and perhaps discover a new way to look at your own life. Make sure to listen carefully to the very end. In a bright and busy coastal town, there was a beautiful wooden boardwalk right next to the ocean. Every day, tourists walked along this path, enjoying the salty air and the warm sunshine. And every day, a young man named Leo sat on a small wooden bench near the busiest corner. Leo called himself an artist, but he did not act like one. He had a small box of cheap, broken crayons and a pile of thin, wrinkled paper. Whenever a family or a couple walked by, Leo would quickly draw a rough, messy stick figure. It took him only a few seconds. Then he would hold out the paper and ask for money. He would say the same thing to everyone. "Please, support a struggling artist. I have nothing, and I need help." Most people ignored him. A few people felt sorry for his sad voice and dropped a few coins into his empty coffee cup. Leo survived this way for a long time. He truly believed that because he was poor, people were supposed to give him money. He thought his situation was the product of bad luck. One warm afternoon, the boardwalk was very crowded. Leo was doing his usual routine. He was quickly drawing messy shapes on a paper, barely looking at the page. Suddenly, he noticed a woman standing nearby. She was dressed in an elegant, dark blue suit. She had a calm and confident energy about her. Leo looked at her expensive watch and thought she must be very wealthy. This was his chance to get a large donation. He quickly finished a terrible drawing of a bird, walked up to the woman, and held it out. "Please," he said, making his voice sound as sad as possible. "Support a struggling artist. I really need the money today." The woman did not reach into her bag. She did not look at him with pity. Instead, she took the piece of paper from his hand and looked at the drawing very carefully. After a moment, she looked back up at Leo. Her eyes were sharp but kind. "Why should I give you my money for this?" she asked. Leo was surprised. No one had ever asked him that before. He quickly answered, "Because I am struggling. Because I need it to survive." The woman shook her head slowly. "I am a gallery owner," she said gently. "I buy art all the time. But I buy art because it brings beauty into the world. I buy it because the artist poured their time, their effort, and their heart into creating something wonderful. She held the messy drawing up. You did not put any effort into this. You do not want me to pay for your art. You want me to pay for your pity. If you truly have no value to offer, then you have no right to demand value from others. Leo felt a rush of anger. He wanted to shout at her, to tell her that she did not understand his difficult life. But before he could speak, the woman handed the paper back to him. The day you decide to respect your own work, she said quietly, is the day the world will respect you. She turned and walked away into the crowd. Leo stood frozen on the boardwalk. His face felt hot. He looked down at the messy drawing in his hand. For the first time, he really looked at it. It was terrible. It was lazy. The woman was not rude. She was just honest. She was right. He was asking the world to reward him for doing absolutely nothing. That evening, Leo went back to his tiny apartment. He sat on his bed and thought about the gallery owner's words. If you truly have no value to offer, you have no right to demand value. He looked at his hands. He used to love drawing when he was a child. He used to spend hours trying to make things look real. But over time, he had become lazy. He had chosen to be a victim. A new thought entered his mind. What if I stopped asking for pity? What if I actually tried to create something beautiful? Leo stood up. He searched through his closet and found an old, dusty wooden box. Inside were high-quality sketching pencils he had not used in years. He found a large, thick piece of clean white paper. He did not sleep that night. He sat by his small window and began to draw. He drew the old lighthouse that stood at the end of the town's pier. He drew the waves crashing against the rocks. He took his time. He focused on every shadow, every line, and every detail. He poured all his energy into the paper. When the sun finally came up, Leo looked at his work. It was not perfect, but it was beautiful. It was real art. Later that morning, Leo returned to the boardwalk. But this time, his behavior was different. He did not hold out a cup. He did not ask anyone for help. He simply placed his beautiful drawing of the lighthouse on a small wooden stand, sat quietly, and began to work on a new picture. An hour passed. Then a tourist walking with his wife suddenly stopped. He looked at the drawing of the lighthouse. He stepped closer, admiring the details. "Excuse me," the tourist said. This is wonderful work. Is it for sale? Leo's heart beat fast. He had never been asked this before. Yes, it is, Leo replied, trying to keep his voice steady. How much do you want for it? The man asked. Leo thought for a moment. He remembered the effort he had put into it. 20 USD, Leo said. The man smiled, pulled a $20 bill from his wallet, and handed it to Leo. Keep up the great work, the man said, taking the drawing carefully. Leo held the money in his hand. It felt completely different from the coins he used to collect in his cup. This money was not given out of sadness. It was given out of respect. People actually wanted what he could create. Weeks turned into months. Leo stopped begging completely. He woke up early every day to create detailed, beautiful drawings of the ocean, the seagulls, and the people walking by. He started charging more for his work, and people happily paid. He was no longer a victim waiting for luck. He was an artist running a small business. One breezy afternoon, while Leo was finishing a detailed portrait of a local musician, he noticed a familiar figure walking down the boardwalk. It was the gallery owner in the dark blue suit. Leo quickly stood up. "Excuse me, ma'am," he called out. The woman stopped and turned around. She looked at Leo, then looked at the beautiful drawings displayed on his table. Her eyes widened slightly in surprise. Leo picked up his best drawing, a stunning picture of the boardwalk at sunset. He walked over and held it out to her. "I want to thank you," Leo said with a warm smile. "You taught me that the world owes me nothing, but it will reward me if I offer something of true value." The woman looked at the drawing, admiring the incredible skill and care in the pencil lines. She opened her purse and pulled out a clean 100 USD bill. "I will take this one," she said, handing him the money. Leo shook his head. "No, please. I want to give it to you as a thank you." The woman smiled softly and pressed the money into his hand. "I do not take things for free," she said. "I pay for value, and today you are a master of your craft." She took the drawing and walked away, leaving Leo standing tall, filled with a deep sense of pride. 5 long years passed. In the center of a busy, modern city, a bright and elegant art gallery was hosting a grand opening event. The room was filled with soft music, expensive lights, and people admiring the large, beautiful paintings on the walls. The gallery owner in the blue suit was walking through the crowd, holding a glass of sparkling water. She stopped to admire the main painting of the night. It was a massive, breathtaking painting of a wooden boardwalk next to the ocean. A man in a sharp, tailored suit walked up to stand beside her. It is a beautiful piece, isn't it? The man asked. The woman smiled. It is magnificent. The artist has incredible talent. The man turned to face her. He extended his hand. It is wonderful to see you again, he said. The woman looked at his face carefully. Then a look of pure shock crossed her features. You are the young man from the beach. Leo smiled brightly and shook her hand firmly. Yes, but today I am not asking for pity. I am simply sharing my art with the world. The two of them stood side by side, equals in every way, looking at the beautiful future Leo had painted for himself. The way you see yourself will always shape your reality. If you believe you are helpless, you will act helpless, and the world will treat you like a victim. But if you recognize your own potential, if you decide to build your skills and offer something valuable to the world, everything changes. Stop waiting for the world to give you what you want. Start creating the value the world is waiting for.